All right, so if you're a volunteer on a small HOA or condo board, you already know the deal. You know the challenges. But what if I told you those challenges were actually your greatest strengths? Today, we're diving into how your small board can make a truly massive impact.
Let's be real for a second. Serving on a small board can often feel like a thankless job, right? You're juggling a million responsibilities, and it is so easy to feel completely overwhelmed. But we're going to flip that perspective on its head. At the heart of it all is one simple fact. You're a volunteer. You've got a job, a family, a whole life outside of this role. And yet, you're the one who stepped up to lead your community.
And because of that, you're constantly in this fundamental conflict. On one side, you have these huge responsibilities. We're talking everything from finances to neighbor disputes. And on the other side, you're working with limited resources, smaller budgets, and just less support than a larger community would have. It is a tough balancing act, for sure.
I mean, just think about all the hats you're expected to wear. One minute you're a financial wizard, the next you're a project manager for maintenance, then you're a contract negotiator and a legal expert on your governing documents, all while trying to mediate arguments between neighbors. It's just an immense workload for any volunteer.
But here's where things get really interesting. Despite all those challenges, there is a flip side. This quote points to a really powerful truth. Your size? It can actually be your secret weapon.
That's right, a superpower. The very thing that probably feels like a limitation, your small size, can be your absolute greatest strength. So let's talk about how to unlock it.
The real magic here is in your relationships. In a small community, you're not some faceless board member, you're a neighbor. And this allows you to handle issues with empathy and with context, instead of just cold, hard bureaucracy.
And those relationships, well, they lead to some real, tangible benefits. Decisions can be made way more quickly, it's a lot easier to be transparent, and that direct communication builds a foundation of community trust that, frankly, larger associations often struggle to achieve.
But here's the critical part. These advantages do not happen automatically. You absolutely need a plan. Without some clear structure and really intentional leadership, the best intentions in the world can just dissolve into confusion and conflict. Which brings us to the game plan. We're going to break down a simple 3-step framework you can use to harness your small board's superpower and really maximize your impact.
And the framework is pretty simple. First, you establish clear roles. Second, you prioritize transparent communication. And third, you partner for the right support. Let's dig into each one.
Okay, first up, establishing clear roles. Even in a small team of really dedicated volunteers, everybody needs to know what they're responsible for. And listen, this isn't about some stiff corporate hierarchy. It's about preventing burnout and making sure things actually get done.
So think about the core roles, right? The president guides the meetings, the vice president is there to support, the treasurer is focused on the finances, and the secretary keeps all the records and minutes. When everyone has their own clear lane, the entire board just operates so much more efficiently.
Next up is step 2, prioritizing transparent communication. This is often the single biggest struggle for any board, big or small, and it's where that community trust is either won or it's lost. But strong communication doesn't have to be complicated. It just means sending out regular updates, taking the time to explain the budget in simple terms, giving homeowners a heads up about maintenance, and applying the rules consistently for everyone. These actions show a basic level of respect for your neighbors.
And really, that's the ultimate goal. Transparency isn't just about sharing information, it is the engine for building trust. And when residents actually trust the board, you'll find that conflict naturally starts to go down.
Finally, step 3 is all about partnering for the right support. You're volunteers. You are not expected to do everything alone. Finding the right partner can be a total game changer, and it can dramatically reduce the administrative burden that's sitting on your shoulders.
A great partner goes way beyond just paperwork. Yeah, they'll handle vendor coordination, financial reporting, compliance, all that stuff. But crucially, they provide strategic guidance and perspective. They help you see around corners and plan for the future, which frees you up to focus on what really matters, leading your community.
So let's bring this all together. It is so easy to get lost in the day-to-day tasks. I get it. But you can't forget the real impact you are making. You are leading and shaping your community. I really want you to let that sink in for a moment. Every single decision you make, from the budget to the landscaping contract, it directly shapes the quality of life for you and for your neighbors. Your role matters. A lot.
So remember the framework.
With clear structure from defined roles, with trust built through transparent communication, and with leverage from the right support, your small board has everything it needs to lead a truly thriving community. You can absolutely do this.
And this leaves us with one final question. When you're armed with these strategies, you're not just a volunteer in a thankless job, you are a community leader. So what will your impact be?